All right, let's dive in. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a high-tech revolution that's happening right under our noses, building the world all around us. We're going to explore this incredible transformation happening on factory floors, and it all kicks off with one simple question.
Seriously, just think about that for a second. A factory that can run 24/7 with perfect precision day after day. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is the new reality of manufacturing. We're talking about a lights-out operation, and it is changing everything. But how exactly are we getting there?
Well, before we can really get our heads around the future, we have to understand the problems we're facing right now. Because, let's be honest, modern manufacturing is up against some pretty big hurdles that are forcing the entire industry to either innovate or risk getting left behind.
You see, the old way of doing things is just, well, it's too slow and way too expensive for today's world. It depends so much on manual labor, and that leads to all sorts of problems like worker shortages and huge production bottlenecks. Plus, it can be incredibly wasteful. The new promise? It's the exact opposite. Fast, automated, super precise, and it just keeps on running.
So, how do you make that jump? Well, it all starts with one of the most basic steps in making anything out of metal: cutting it. And this is where the first hero of our story comes in, a technology that literally uses the power of light to reshape our world. Say hello to the fiber laser. The best way to think about it is like a scalpel made of pure light. It takes this super concentrated beam, shoots it through a fiber optic cable, and slices through huge sheets of steel, aluminum, or even copper like they're made of paper. It's wild.
To get those perfectly clean cuts, lasers use a jet of what's called an assist gas, usually nitrogen, to blow the molten metal away. The problem? A ton of that very expensive gas just bounces off the surface of the metal and gets completely wasted.
This is where a brilliantly simple yet genius piece of engineering comes into play. It's called Advanced Gas Reduction, or AGR. It uses this special nozzle that creates a little air shroud from plain old compressed air. This shroud acts like a perfect funnel, guiding that expensive nitrogen gas right into the cut where it needs to be. It's so clever, and it means you can use a smaller nozzle and waste way less gas.
And the impact of this is just massive. We're talking about potentially cutting down your assist gas use by up to 75%. For a factory that's running these machines all day long, that adds up to some absolutely enormous cost savings.
And look, this isn't just theory. Check out these numbers from a real-world test on stainless steel. Standard cutting was burning through 61 cubic feet per minute of gas. With the AGR tech, it dropped all the way to 22.5. In this one test, that's a 63% savings. It just goes to show you, this smart upgrade delivers real, tangible results.
Okay, so now we have this incredibly fast, precise, and super efficient cutting tool. But how do you possibly keep up with it? This is where the second hero of our story makes its entrance: automation. This is what takes the raw power of the laser and scales it up to its absolute full potential.
And this brings us right back to that question from the beginning. Laser automation is the key that unlocks the lights-out factory. It creates a system that can run for entire shifts, loading materials, cutting parts, unloading finished products, all with almost no human supervision at all. A modern automation system is really a whole ecosystem. So, what does it actually look like when you put these two revolutionary technologies together, the hyper-efficient laser and the tireless robot? Well, what you get looks less like a traditional, noisy factory floor and more like a beautifully choreographed dance.
The industry has even come up with a term for this seamless process: laser sorting. And it's the perfect word for it, right? It describes a system that takes a raw sheet of metal and completely transforms it into perfectly sorted, neatly stacked parts, all ready to go.
Let's just walk through it real quick. So, a robot feeds in the sheet of metal. The laser does its magic, cutting everything out at blistering speed. Then, this system of intelligent grippers comes down, identifies and picks up only the finished parts, and stacks them perfectly. The leftover metal skeleton is taken away, and the whole cycle just starts all over again, non-stop. So, when you add it all up, what you have isn't just a single new machine, it's a complete intelligent system. This combination of lasers and robots is fundamentally rewriting the rulebook for what's possible in the world of manufacturing.
The real-world impact here is truly transformative. Productivity just skyrockets because you've eliminated all the bottlenecks. Costs plummet because you're cutting waste across the board, from labor to gas to materials. Quality and consistency, that becomes the new standard, not just a goal. And it's flexible enough for businesses of almost any size to get on board.
When you really boil it all down, this is the magic of the whole thing. A complete transformation from a raw material into a finished, ready-to-go product, and it all happens autonomously.